Welcome back to another session with zebra macaroon and chocolate. It's our brand, and today we're gonna demonstrate how to make zebra macaroon with chocolate ganache filling, and the chocolate ganache infused with a little bit of orange flavor. First, look at the ingredients. We have 300 grams of sugar. We have 300 grams of icing sugar. 300 grams of almond powder, skinless almond powder. Make sure it's going to be always dry, so nicely dried out. Moisture could affect the quality of the macaroon, so it's very important. We have some mature egg white here. We left it out for 3 days, room temperature. You're not supposed to do that. Health inspector, they don't like that, but actually, that's for a macaroon in France. They maturing the egg white in the fridge probably 2 weeks, and it's completely fine, or sometimes 3 weeks. What it does, the moisture of the water level of the egg white reduces, and you don't need to use the albumin powder for that. So I'm gonna start making my Italian meringue. What is a part of the recipe? I have 75 grams of. You will see the recipe will be posted on the website. So I'm going to start with 75 grams of water, add in the sugar, and I put that in the induction cooker and start to boil it. Okay, so very important, you have to sift together the sugar, icing sugar, and the ground almond. And we're going to sift it. So my sugar is boiling, as you can see, and turn it down a little bit. And we're going to cook that sugar syrup to 118 Celsius, 118 Celsius. Sifting is just finishing. Sifting together the almond and the icing sugar. It's all done. The sugar is boiling, and when the sugar reaches 110 degrees Celsius, then I will start to beat my one part of the egg white. 110 grams of egg white goes in with the, we're going to make a paste with the icing sugar and the almond, and the other egg white we're going to start to make a meringue. 110 right now, so I'm going to pour in my egg white. The egg white. Make sure they're always on the side of the pot. Wash it on some water, otherwise the sugar caramelizes and affecting the color, and also to crystallize the sugar. So what I'm doing here, just washing down on the side of the pot with some water and the brush. My egg white is whipped up, and stage. So I just hold it there until the sugar reaches 118 degrees Celsius. And then I'm going to pour it in here. It's called Italian meringue. It's 116, almost there. Okay, 118. Turn it up. And pour it into the meringue. Slow it down, and don't put it on the beak. Put it on the side. Put it on the side, and if you pick it up slowly, mix it in. If you put it on the top of the beak, you're going to lose probably 20-30% of the sugar, because it's going to spray everywhere around the bowl inside. Go a little faster. There you go. Alright, I have a little sugar residue on the side here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to melt it into the bowl outside. And nice and slowly going to pour down, dripping down into the egg white. See? Going down to the egg white. You don't do that with sugar. There you go. Make sure you don't caramelize it, not too hot. It's perfect. All the sugar is in now. And we're going to dip it faster now until the bowl is almost cold. The meringue is whipping up, almost there. I'm going to start to mix the egg white with icing sugar and the ground almond and create a paste. All of them goes here. I'm just making the paste. We're going to incorporate that with the paste what we created here. Almost like looks like a little bit like a marzipan, soft marzipan. So adding the Italian meringue to that. And don't worry about, it's usually when using meringue you have to be folded and slowly and be gentle. That one, when you're making macaron with Italian meringue, you don't need to do that. Actually in French it's called the Macaron. When you really whip it up like this, all the ingredients work it together. So I have some egg white here, a little extra egg white. Sometimes when I feel that consistency is too thick, I add a little bit of egg white. This helps for have a perfect shape and consistency. So all the egg white is in. So the macaron is done. So I'm going to take 20% out and put directly into the piping bag without any tip. That's going to be a line for the zebra macaron, the white color. And the 80% we're going to color it to black. So 20%, it's around that much. And here we go. Put it on the side. Put it on the side, and we're going to start to coloring these to black color. That's a coloring paste. It's a food color. It's a dye. It's good. Holding it in. So it's incorporating the color. Here we go. You go to the Ladurée, what is a 150 years old pastry shop in Paris. It's incredible how many beautiful colorful macaron you can get. You can get very sharp yellow or red or violet color, whatever flavor is inside. That's what they're coloring it the macaron to. And they have now a store in New York City as well, the Ladurée. So it looks a little bit like a dark green, but when I bake that, it's become nice and black. So I'm going to use the number 10 piping bag tip. You just do that little circle with the scissors, and then you can remove the end of the piping bag. We close it, the piping bag, so it doesn't run out the product. We close it like this, and you can fill the piping bag. Macaron. I'm gonna find a tray now. As you see, I didn't use any egg white, so it was perfectly worked. Why do you need egg white sometimes? Because sometimes the ground almond is too dry, sometimes too much moisture, so that we have to be egg white. You can add, you can take some out when you feel it's too thick. The problem is when you pipe the macaron, if it's too thick, it's going to be a little bit of unfinished surface on the top. It's sticking out a little tip, and that doesn't look very nice. Or sometimes it runs out fast and going to become very flat. This means your macaron is too runny. So you have to be careful, and you have to get the right consistency. That's why adding or reducing the egg white in it. Okay? So don't just follow the recipe, close your eyes and follow the recipe. Always have to have a feeling to it, okay? Now I'm gonna find the tray, and using the seal pad is better than if you use a paper, the silicone paper, parchment paper. It could blow because the fan in the oven is gonna start to blow everywhere. So I use a seal pad. But when you see that, it means the tray is not flat. If you would pipe your macaroon on this one, would be oval shaped because you're running in the center, the indentation in it. So you have to find a very flat sheet pan because that one is not flat. When you purchase some of these sheet pan, always put some on the side for special preparation like a macaroon or other things. So, and it's going to be beautiful and flat. So it's very important. Now, the size, you can identify what you can decide what size you want to pipe. I'm going to make a smaller one. So just don't put it too close to each other. So the macaroon is piped now nicely, and you have to put the line on it for the other piping bag before it starts to get crust on the top. So making the line with this, there's going to be a zebra effect. Okay, so it's finishing the piping in. And the oven is on for 300 degrees. Okay, we're gonna wait for 20-30 minutes until you're gonna be crudité this macaroon. It's a little crust on it, and then we bake it. So when you touch the surface of the macaroon, it's got a little crust on it. Then it means it's ready to go into the oven. So oven is on for 300 degrees. I'm gonna put it on for 10 minutes first. So probably I'll look at it after and another 4 or 5 minutes later on. So let's look at the macaroon. It's nicely lifted up. You can see that. Well, it depends if it's removed. You can feel if it's still soft, or put it back a little bit longer. I think that's when it's ready. So I take it out from the oven, and I cool it down right there on the stainless steel table. So I think the macaron is cooled down now, and if it's properly done, it should release the seal pad. So I think it's good. Yeah. You can see on the bottom nicely releasing, and it's lifted up beautifully the macaron with a nice leg. So that's a perfect macaron. Now I'm gonna find the body of each. You know, I always check it, which one is a perfect body, and lay it down on the one is facing down, the one is facing up. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fill it on the marble on the other side, and that's the macaron is done. Let's fill the macaron. I have a very small piping bag tape here, and ganache, nice and creamy, so it's not too thick. It's gonna be perfect because the moisture will go to the macaron and mature nicely. We're gonna put that in the freezer for 24 hours, and we'll see the results tomorrow. The macaron now. Okay, stop. So we stop filling, and now I just put the lid on it, and make sure nicely press out on the side, but don't press it as much so it's gonna overflow. Macaroon. We put that in the freezer. You can put it in the fridge or the freezer for 24 hours, maturing. What it does, the crisp macaron picks up the moisture from the ganache or whatever you fill it, and become chewy inside. The real macaron should be beautiful, crispy outside and chewy inside when you're eating it. So we will see later tomorrow when we take it out. So we have the macaron. It's mature now. 24 hours in the freezer. Then I put it out for 4 hours on room temperature. Now it should be the macaron. You can see inside the ganache nicely. Now I'm gonna bite in this, and if it's chewy inside, then it's perfect product. See? Inside you can see, outside the surface is very crunchy, inside is perfect and chewy. That's what you're looking for. The zebra macaroon from Mirabel Ciano, the best.